Minute 19. I feel like I might be a mutant because of my psychic abilities. I'm Brian,
Yes. I'm Wolf.
and this is X Minutes, the podcast that takes the, at the time of filming, longest running superhero franchise without a reboot, X-Men, and breaks it down one glorious mutating minute at a time. This is minute 19 of the 2000 film. God, I hate saying that. X-Men. Wolf, what happened in minute 19?
Yeah, so they're driving along, and out of nowhere, a giant log or fallen tree gets thrown in the truck's path, causing Logan to bash through the windshield and slide into a snowbank, which was a beautiful shot, by the way. And like thinking about it now, like as a kid, I was like, oh yeah, whatever. Even as like a younger adult, I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. But thinking about it now, and how many years I've been driving, the amount of force it would take to bust someone through a windshield, it's just amazing. And to have him stand up, you know,
Oh.
um, he's got a big gash on his head. Let me see.
Yeah, and I gotta say, like, I feel. Well, first, she finishes the line, "You should wear your seatbelt," and he says, "Look, kid, I don't need advice on auto safety from." And then the tree falls down, crunch. As I was scrubbing through it, I liked it because the first shot we get is a sideways shot of the hood hitting or the front hitting and the hood popping up. Then the second shot is finishing the crash kind of. Um, There's a little explosion under the hood causing some dust, and the camper that he's got on that pickup truck actually completely crunches down
Oh,
the
dang.
front of the pickup truck, like everything. The
Oh, yeah.
glass is crunched down, and literally there's actually no space for anyone to go through the windshield because if the next shot was accurate to that big first shot, uh, they would be under the trailer. But we get an
Yeah.
inside shot of
Yeah, I noticed that. Like, it looks like she should have been killed.
yeah.
After hitting
Everyone
him.
should be uh, sardines in a crushed sardine can.
Hmm.
But we get a shot, and I actually wonder if this is Anna Paquin because if it's not, the stunt double for her looks remarkably the same. But we get what might just be a bunch of debris being thrown around, and then the Logan stunt double leaning forward before the cut that launches him out. This windshield has
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
been snowed on for a while as they wait to do this stunt.
Yeah. Like
But he
that,
launches
I mean,
out.
that editing was really good.
Yeah.
Like, let's see
Yeah,
here.
it's
Another
class.
thing is the whole, like, something in the back spontaneously combusts, and there's a fire in the camper now. Um, let's
Yeah, I was
see
gonna
here.
say. Well, first I want to shout out how horrifying his body dragging through the snow looks, especially that
Yeah.
upward shot. It just looks. That sucks. And also, the whole seat that they were sitting on is now unhinged and forward pinning Rogue. But
Yeah.
let me ask you: is that fire supposed to be his cigar? Cause he's been chewing it. It hasn't been lit, and if he launches forward, there's no way he's being launched forward and goes, "Oh!"
He's like,
and throws
before
it
I
behind
go,
him.
let me throw this.
Yeah.
I mean, every time I watch this, I just assume it's the cigar. I don't know what it is. Like, that's one thing. Like, two things in this scene kind of annoy me. The next one is in the next clip, but the spontaneous fire kind of annoyed me. But Not enough to actually like feel some type of way about it. But I mean, it might be the cigar. It might be maybe from the impact of the trailer hitting the camper.
Yeah.
Spark, something
Huh.
spark. Maybe he's got some type of fuel back there, just in case. I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
and even if it's a cheap thing, it does serve multiple purposes. One, it raises the stake for Rogue. She's pinned.
Hmm.
Now the camper's on fire. If she was just pinned, yeah, that would be like, fuck. But there's no other threat at this moment, which we might see in the next minute. But
Hmm.
she now has a ticking clock to get out of there.
Yeah.
And also, if this whole camper and everything goes up in flames, then we add to uh, kind of the wandering nature of Logan. He
Mm.
doesn't have even a camper home to go to after this.
Yeah.
So it would kind of force his hand in terms of not being able to just go off and flee or whatever you'd call it
Hmm.
later on in the film. But yeah, he staggers up. He's woozy. He's stumbling around like he's drunk, and she's pinned. The fire's getting bigger. Oof. Just all those
Yeah. Like
clothes on the ground for
right.
kindling.
And I like when he's like, it's gonna show it more in the next one, but like we see the very beginning part, the very beginning stages of the healing process for that. Um, what
Yeah,
would have been a fatal head wound.
yeah. I wonder if he was kind of reaching and then going and decide not to touch the head wound, or if he was patting his chest. But looks like he spits out some blood. We see a subtitle
Mm.
saying "bones cracking." Oh
No.
gosh,
Jeez, it's like bones cracking in mutant.
that's gnarly. But yeah, this was technically a pretty light minute. If that first impact
Hmm.
had been kept to, she would probably be dead, and he would have
Yeah.
busted through some metal or gotten wedged in between the metal of the hood and the camper. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
can't drive distracted and without a
No,
seatbelt
you can.
unless you don't care about damaging your own property and you are Wolverine.
Yes. So
Anything else
remember.
for this minute? What'd you say?
No, I was just saying. So remember, viewers and listeners, wear a seatbelt unless you're Wolverine. So yeah.
Yeah, I've been so there's a couple things about Tesla. They have a plan in the next year of launching their own robotaxi rideshare network where
Hmm.
you can own a Tesla that self drives and you can send it out without you to make you money.
Oh
And
wow.
and their Cybertruck can have over 500 miles of range and is set to deliver after that rideshare network should have gone live.
Oh
Also,
shoot.
to reserve one, it's a refundable $100. So I've been reserving one truck a month, and I have like 6 reservations at this point. Because if it doesn't
Oh
work out, or
crap.
if it's not a good deal, get that $100 back. If it is, cha-ching! That's a $1,000,000
That
car.
yes,
It would make you $330,000 before all the expenses. So,
dude. The future is now, man.
but my point for that was that two of my friends, Christian and Richard, who are also co-hosting with me the Bond Minute Bond podcast and the I Love You
Hmm.
3000 Minutes podcast, they're the first people I would ask to help me if I got a larger fleet. And in the back of my mind, I was like, if this gets as big as I want it and it is as successful as it's supposed to be, after like 5 years, I want to buy them each a Roadster, the $200,000
Nice.
Tesla car that can go over 250 miles an hour. But then my buddy Christian was like, "Yeah, I would love to just see how fast I could get that." And I was like, "You know what? I had this in the back of my mind. I would buy that for you, but I'd rather you be alive."
Yes,
And
exactly. It's
uh,
like It's like when the first thing out of your friend's like mouth, it's like, it's like, I want to get you something that's potentially dangerous. I want to push it to its limits.
Yeah. Maybe those don't mix. So the ultimate point is the other day I told this to Richard, and he might be hearing me right now from the other room. And I was like, yeah, I also might want to reconsider that to keep you alive. And he's like, oh, I'd be fine. I'd be like, you know what? If you buckled your seatbelt before you started driving really fast, I would be more inclined to believe you. Because I love you, Richard. But for that first minute or two, he is Wolverine.
Right.
In terms of that. And he hates my car
Exactly.
because after 1 second, it'll be like beep, 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 or whatever the noise is.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, that's what that reminded me of. But yeah, that has been minute 19. I'm Brian.
Yes. I'm Wolf.
And let's evolve and mutate into minute 20. Countdown to my bald head. 2,